Vince Carter, it's been so many years, and it's been New Jersey, it's been Orlando, it's been Phoenix, it's been now Dallas for Vince, and I do think that there will be a day when he'll come back to Toronto, and I don't know if the reception will be like it is currently. I think it'll be a better reception. Vince Carter is back in a building that he put on the map. The Air Canada Center tonight, his lone visit here this season as a member of the Dallas Mavericks, and one of the crowd favorites, Jose Calderon, walking in to his old home here in Toronto.
If you look back at history, these two guys, for whatever you want to say about them, good, bad, or otherwise, are firmly supplanted in history for this organization as two of the best and maybe even two of the most popular in franchise history.
No, it never gets old. I mean, because, you know, when I was just a young pup walking around, they took care of me. Everybody took care of me, and they looked after me, and they were able to watch me grow. They were able to watch Toronto basketball, because I can't say the city because we already know what the Leafs has done for Toronto. And now for the little brother, the Raptors, to kind of make their name and create the buzz here and create young players in the NBA today, I mean, it never gets old, never gets old.
It seems like the tide is turning a little bit. Most people always enjoyed Jose Calderon as a person, as a player, but it looks like the opinion is maybe changing of VC after about a decade of leaving the city.
Well, I think the key there is a decade. Time heals all wounds, and Vince Carter, 16 years in the league now, it's hard to imagine. And when you put his body of work, I think you take maybe the way he went out of town here, people can put that into context a little bit. Some people, not everybody. And then also I think the echo of the impact he had creating the vibrancy for basketball in this country we've seen and will see for a generation to come.
Christie, over to Jordan, yes, sir! Christie lobs that one to Carter, who finishes. Christie on the wing, gets it to Vince, and the jam! See, he's got McGrady, and an extra ticket, and the Raptors do the job. Puts it on the floor, throws it up, scoop! Carter, get ready. Christie sees a lane, drives it up there. Oh, wow. Fans got what they wanted. What's the penetration? He's going to the back to start. Nobody picked him up. Give it to Vince. Oh, jam.
It's hard to explain. I mean, what seems normal now would I guess wow a lot of people. It's just everywhere we would go, I mean, we were gaining attention. I mean, we were that team that people didn't know about, but at the same time, you knew what those two young guys on that team could do.
It was like watching your favorite movie every night. You know, you just never get tired of it. You know, sitting there and watching this dude, some of the stuff that he did on the basketball court, it's like poetry in motion, man. It was, I mean, to have a front row seat, and, you know, the greatest thing about greatness is the unknown, and that's what it was, you know, because you just never knew what you were going to get out of him. And it was just some of the greatest years, one of the greatest seasons to witness, you know, as a teammate.
You know, and it's just like, everywhere we go, it's like, hey, you get right in the layup line, kids like, dunk it, let's see it dunk, do something, do it between the legs, you know, whatever. It's still to this day that kids don't understand. It's a little more difficult now, but I tell you, it's just the following, and we had fun doing it. I mean, we learned, we were respectful of the game, we enjoyed the game. It was just, like you said, it was just a rock star lifestyle. I mean, it's just under the eye. I mean, social media now, how it is, I couldn't imagine what it would have been like back then. And, you know, so I guess I'm thankful for that.
Vince Carter for the first time, and what is the reception he receives?
It's kind of a mixed reception, Matt, actually.
There's actually some fans standing on their feet.
Yeah,
and there are a lot of Vince Carter jerseys that we see tonight.
Mixed, but more positive than I think we've ever heard.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Vince Carter bringing back 2000. Carter, 36 years of age, out of North Carolina, selected 5th overall by Golden State and traded to Toronto. This is his 13th regular season game at the ACC as a non-Raptor.
And, you know, he has had an enormous impact on the game in this country. You talk to all the young players, all these guys make it to the NBA. They all remember the Vince Carter days, how they turned them on to basketball. And, you know, the NBA being in Canada has been the biggest impact on the game in this country. And Vince Carter at that time, when the game was just starting out here, he made the Raptors franchise. So I think it's time that people look back on the positives, let the negatives go. And it was a two-way street at that time as far as management and Vince Carter, how it always handled.
Let's go now, baby.
Suiting up in the ACC every night, just the fans passionate. Finally, you know, get out of the Sky Dome, which you can't hear nobody cheering because it seems like everybody's like miles away, and you can't really see nobody. But just finally establishing ourselves as a franchise to be taken seriously.
Here comes McGrady. Exclamation mark. You can see it coming.
You know, I think he was being taken as for a joke, you know, the first couple seasons. But that third year, just to have the fans engaged, our team winning ball games and the excitement that we putting out there, witnessing greatness in VC, it was fun, man.
Those are some good days, man. I can tell you what, remember sitting doing games and you just look at your partner, you just go, did you just see what I just saw? Every night was a highlight film. Every night things happen and you just shook your head at it and said, I just didn't see that, did I?
Love to play the game, wanted to do everything for this city because this is where it started. I mean, it's been well documented that I think back to us always making the push to David Stearns on helping the rest of the league, the rest of the world know about this city and how special it is, and it's the best kept secret. And it was just the fight. And of course, you know, the way it ended, and I hate that it ended that way. Just because there's so many great memories here and we had great times, and you know, you look back now after 20 years, I mean, what's the first thing you think of is that moment in time. And you know, you hate that it was just that things ended that way, and you know, but at the same time, it makes for good memories. I tell you what, I mean, when you sit here, you named all those wonderful people that I've played with, like Alvin, like Muggsy, I've played with Dell, I mean, John Thomas, John Wallace. I mean, I've had so many guys that in passing now, I still see them. I mean, you know, it was fun times here, and I think when every player got here, new player got here, it's like, wow, I didn't know Toronto was like that, and that was my thing. It was just a great feeling to see. Like, yeah, this is the best kept secret, and we're trying to get the NBA to understand. Hey, help us promote that. Let them know what it's all about. We didn't want it to have to take a dunk contest to finally get into the playoff and win an NBA, win a series for us to even gain the respect. I mean, you know, that was for the fans, and like I said, it's just something they can always cherish and remember. I mean, you know, I remember so many things as we sit here. I mean, we'll be here all day for all the memories that I have, you know. So it's hopefully when the fans kind of sit back and hear all of the players that you've talked to and talk about their memories, it all just makes them all feel good. Like, it makes me feel good.